In this video, we're going to be previewing a matchup in the West region between the 4 seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide, and the 13 seed, the Charleston Cougars. For Alabama, they come into the NCAA tournament as a 4 seed this year. 21-11 record for the Crimson Tide under Nate Oates, tied for second in the SEC regular season. They lost in the SEC tournament quarterfinals. This team is all about speed, offense, and putting up a ton of points. 91 points per game for the Crimson Tide on the offensive end. They're third in the nation in offensive efficiency, and they're third in the nation in offensive pace. They want to play a ton of possessions and score as many points as humanly possible. This team is great in just about every shooting metric: 2-point percentage, 3-point percentage, paint percentage, and free throw percentage. They're really talented inside and out. It's a perimeter-oriented team. They play 5 out a lot of the time, dribble drive. Their big men can play on the perimeter as well, especially Grant Nelson. Now, my key player for the Crimson Tide is their best player, or at least their leading scorer, Mark Sears. He is one of the best scorers in this tournament, in my opinion. 21 points per game, and he shoots 43% from 3, and he takes a lot of them. Over 40% of his shots are from beyond the arc. Sears is also red hot right now. His last 6 games, he's gone over the 20-point threshold. Now, my concern for Alabama is on the defensive end, right? If you've heard about this Alabama team or you follow them at all, you know that they struggle with defense sometimes. In their 11 losses this year, they've allowed 94 points per game. So they get cooked on the defensive end sometimes. They've got a big problem with fouling people and putting opposing teams on the free throw line. They're 320th in the nation in opponents' free throw rate. So they give opponents a lot of chances to earn points at the stripe. For the Charleston Cougars, they're 27-7 coming into the NCAA tournament, and they've won 12 in a row, which is the nation's second longest winning streak. They are the CAA champs, both in the regular season and the tournament. Similar to Alabama, this team is all about offense and fast pace. They score 81 points per game this year. They're 44th in the nation in offensive pace, so they want to play fast as well. Maybe not quite as fast as Alabama, though. They do a good job of taking care of the basketball. This team takes a ton of threes on the offensive end. 47% of their shots are threes, which is 16th most in the nation. They shoot a decent percentage from outside, though it's not great. 34.8% as a team. Again, it's about volume for the Cougars. This team has no star player on the offensive end, but however, they do have 6 different players who score 8+ points per game. So they are deep and they can hurt you in a lot of different ways. My key player that I want you to look out for this Cougars team is Rain Smith. This guy is fun. He's a lefty. 88% of his shots come from beyond the arc. He rarely takes twos, and he hits 40% of his threes. He's a fun guy to watch, so watch out for Rain Smith. For the Cougars, it's a similar concern for Alabama. They are average on the defensive end at best, and yeah, they just don't really stop anybody. They outscore a lot of people. They've had their moments on the defensive end, don't get me wrong. During this run, you've won 12 games in a row. You have to be decent on defense at times. They also don't have great athletes just in general. That's a concern for me. And specific to this matchup, they're 332nd in free throw rate offensively. So a weakness that Alabama has, Charleston has that weakness on the offensive end as well. As far as this matchup goes, I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. A ton of points are going to be scored in this game. I would not be surprised if Alabama scores 95 or more points in this one. The pace is going to be crazy. Alabama has a massive leg up in terms of just the athletes. Charleston's a really good team and they play well together, but they do not have the athletes to keep up with Alabama. Charleston, if they're going to pull off this upset, they need to do at least one of these three things in my mind. They either need to hit 15 or more threes, which is possible but unlikely. They need to go to the free throw line 30 or more times, which is possible but strongly unlikely for Charleston. Or they need to find a way to slow Alabama down, play more of a half-court game. That is definitely unlikely in my mind. I don't think Charleston wants to slow it down, but again, you're playing a dangerous game with Alabama. If I had to put this on the upset potential meter, I would certainly say it's not likely. I do like this Charleston team. I just don't think this is a good matchup for them in an Alabama team that can run teams out of the gym. For that reason, give me the Alabama Crimson Tide to move on to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Do you want to win your March Madness bracket pool? Do you want to not only beat your friends and family, but absolutely humiliate them? If you like the sound of that, subscribe down below to College Hoops Tonight, because we're previewing all 36 first round games of the NCAA tournament to give you the edge you need to nail your bracket and absolutely crush your friends and family in your bracket pool.